So, was this a podcast?
I mean, it could have been. I was recording just in case anything.
I just feel like it felt like more like a regular, uh, what do you call it, playthrough. You ever been deep sea fishing?
Like on a boat?
Yeah, in the ocean.
No, I've seen my grandpa. I supposedly I did it too, but I don't remember. But me and my grandpa went to a creek and he did like I don't. It's the one where it's like not fly fishing, but it's just a running stream.
Mm.
That was
Well,
neat.
if you ever do deep sea fishing, be prepared for seasickness. Because I was throwing up for 8 hours
Are you
inside that boat.
guaranteed seasickness if you have motion sickness?
Yep, probably.
Nah, I'm fucked. I
Dude,
get
it's like really, like you wouldn't expect yourself to get it.
I get
And I got
motion sick in VR after a while, so probably.
It's weird, man, especially if you're out there that long. We're literally out there for like a whole work day, so for 8 hours I was feeling like shit, threw up probably like 3 times.
Did you ever were you like able to see whatchamacallit, were you able to see land?
Mm, yes. I mean, but you were still far out in the ocean.
Hmm.
But yeah, you're able to see it from a distance, but you're still pretty out there. It was cool. I just wish I didn't get seasick because I like the ocean.
I don't like the ocean.
Well, I wouldn't want to be in the middle of the ocean, but like, I like the water. Like I like walking by the
Oh, yeah,
seaport. Uh,
you like the above ocean.
yeah,
Gotcha. I couldn't do it. I did always like fishing though, so I probably like it. Like
yeah,
it's the main thing is I do most of the times in games is fishing. Like if it's an option, I'm doing it. There was a time in a do you know the game Terraria?
Um, it sounds familiar.
Well, I played the game Terraria with a couple people and there's a lot you could do in the game, but they got really upset because all I was doing was fishing. And they're like,
Oh,
"You're not even playing the game." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And like in that game, you can get crates from fishing, and you can get armor and mounts and just cool shit from actually just fishing. And I just liked it better than mining and other shit. It's just more fun because they already was doing that.
yeah.
So I
That
just did that.
reminds me, I want to make a boat in Minecraft so I can fish.
That's probably the one game I don't fish in, just because you don't get as much shit.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's good
at least you get
food,
food. Yeah.
and you can get potions out of it.
I haven't seen those underwater, I don't know what they're called, the underwater zombies.
The drown.
Yeah, I haven't seen them when we play.
I think it's because it's more of like I want to say it's like a biome thing.
What do you mean?
Like the sometimes you can get like ruins underground, not underground, underwater, and they spawn around ruins.
Oh,
So it's more of like a biome thing. Same goes for
you think they're
the temple, like those creatures.
what creatures?
There's weird looking like spike ball water creatures that are in the water, but they're
Oh,
with the temple.
yeah. What do you think Minecraft has lore, some secret lore to it?
Oh yeah.
Like, what do you think the story is?
Um, I don't know. I feel like whatever the lore is, it was a habited world before you showed up, and you're the disruptor.
Hmm.
Like everybody was, if there was anything close to you, it was a villager, and the villagers kind of just didn't do shit. But now that you're there, you fucked up like their society, and now there's wars and pillagers and all that other bullshit.
But it's like, why? Because of your presence. It's fucked up.
Because you don't follow the code. Because there is like
Let's try a different spot.
okay. I need oh shit. You did that I was
Take it
as I
away.
was like casting. I'll
The
join you
little
in a second.
water holes will be here.
Water hole. What's so great about the water hole? I'll show you when we get there.
So what is the lore behind the mobs?
Well, that's what I was saying. I think that's just stuff that existed before you showed up. Like the world
Mm,
is just how the world worked. And now that you exist, you made everything get out of out of order. Because there was already the villagers, there was already the pillagers, there was already the witches, the the sunken ships, the ruins, the temples, all that stuff was there, you know.
yeah. Do you think maybe it's just like so like Steve isn't from that world, right?
He
Is that what you're trying to
definitely
say?
he definitely is more chaotic.
So if Steve isn't from that world, then these what if because he's there he disrupted the balance and that meant other people from other worlds also came in like Endermen and zombies and skeletons. And the only original people there were the
Oh,
villagers.
that could be true because he does make portals. Although there's
Uh-huh.
ruins of portals, so I feel like villagers tried portals
Perhaps. And maybe I don't know.
because
Hmm.
maybe I don't know. That's a good point. Because also, I think no one besides Enderman can manipulate the world like Steve. You know?
Unless yeah, unless those temples were ruins from the first Steve. Like that there's another guy a long time ago who came there.
Oh,
And
you think these were past structures that like they
yeah,
built?
yeah, and then now it's like this new guy named Steve that got spawned into this whole world.
That's a neat theory.
Uh-huh.
I don't know anybody that's ever made like a novel book talking about like why Minecraft. So I don't know. It's just something I never thought about.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting.
I just kind of assumed things just kind of happened.
There's gotta be a story. Every game has a story. It's just whether or not they say it.
Well, like, do you think there's a purpose to why you get credits after you beat the dragon?
Um,
Is there like a purpose for that?
that you get credits. Maybe because you're fixing what you started. So it's like you're redeeming yourself and helping the world.
I'm starting to get like very Dreamlight Valley, which is the Disney Animal Crossing game, with what we're talking about. Because you show
Yeah.
up to the world and you don't know why you're there, but you supposedly were like the past king, and it's being your kingdom's being ruined by just ruins, and it's like a shadow creature that's ruining it all, but it's just an evil you. So this is kind of like giving very similar story beats. So it's the previous Steve before the current Steve, which is you, made Ender stuff or controls Ender stuff, and it has been contained in this portal that you opened up and destroyed, and the previous Steve is a dragon. Is that what I'm getting here?
Whoa. I mean, I didn't think about that.
Because there has
Maybe.
to be a reason why the
Wait.
portal is there, and then you open it, right?
What if
Because it's a whole stronghold.
what if there was something that happened? What if there was, let's say the villagers and Steve are separate beings, right? Let's say
They
the
are.
Steve people, all right, let's just say they're just regular humans, right?
Okay.
Let's say a long time ago, before there was ruins, there was a bunch of humans, Steves, whatever,
Uh huh.
and something happened where they they corrupted themselves and they became the zombies. And now this Steve is here, and
Oh.
you know,
Right.
but he also opened portals. It's more like they were meddling with things that were not natural.
Mm-hmm.
And now because this Steve's in here, um, wait, what if all those, okay, what if all those Steves opened up the portals and the monsters have been there, and then that's what caused the ruins, and then that's what caused them to turn into zombies, and then that's why years later this Steve came back and he just wants to make things right again, and that's why there's already monsters roaming around.
That would make sense.
Why?
I said it would.
Oh,
I, cause there can be zombie villagers, and maybe
yeah,
zombies are just zombie villagers that have lasted longer into the zombie form. Because it's usually right after they get bit, they turn into a zombie villager. But you can save
yeah,
them. And then skeletons are probably zombies in a more longer decayed form. Uh,
uh-huh.
Spiders are just spiders. Um, and creepers aren't really explained. Maybe that's just a mutation.
And what if, because you know how the witch looks like a villager,
Right.
what if the witch is what brought Steve to this world?
Oh my god, what if the witch was trying to fix them and that's why they attack you? Because they think you're gonna fuck it up. Like you're gonna create
Oh,
more.
maybe.
Because why else do they have they have potions of healing and hurting?
Something happened because they're all targeting Steve.
Yeah.
And the villagers, they don't hate Steve, but they don't exactly look thrilled to see him.
No, they don't help you out. They do trades for their benefit.
Yeah.
And most of the time, if you are Steve, you just steal their shit anyway. And they won't fight you for it because they're scared.
What if this is what this is? What if that's the story of Minecraft?
I don't think that it's Steve coming back to fix it, though. I feel like it's
What?
just either another Steve that has been locked away in the Ender and turned into the Ender Dragon, sending Endermen the best he can to try to get him back, or the Steve that you play just came back and didn't realize what he did because he came back so much later. Because you're still as chaotic, so maybe you're just doing all the same beats, but this time you're doing them for a different purpose.
Steve has something. I'm telling you, he's not just a regular folk.
He ain't your average blockhead.
He ain't. He
He,
just simply ain't.
he is a creative god. Well, there's your podcast moment right there.
Huh. The one thing we had.
And Mike is gone for it. Do you feel like every game needs a story? You don't feel
I
like
don't
it
think
can't
it.
just be like a Seinfeld game where nothing happens?
I think when people come up with ideas for games or movies or books, there's always lore. Maybe there won't be a story. There's a lore that they had in their head of why things are the way they are.
You think this
You
game
know,
has a lore then?
pretty sure it's in the creator's mind. He probably has a whole ass story of this in his brain.
Maybe. It's nothing I've ever thought about. Then again, I don't know. Sometimes people look for the little details.
Do it here.
They look for those little Easter eggs of like, usually it's something either really creepy in the background or like just something that's a secret, and people are like, "Oh, what does this mean?" And then they dig deep and they're like, "Oh, we're actually fishing on top of a Indian burial ground of a where there used to be a war, and this was the island that made North America win against the British or something." You know what I'm talking about?
Maybe. Yeah,
They see like one thing and suddenly it's a whole thing.
but I wouldn't think of it as conspiracy. I just mean like the actual people who created the whole thing would know. Like they must have something in their head. You don't just think of this. You have your your story. You have your makeup of it.
I don't know, man. I think some people are
No.
just simple minded because it's just there's simple games there with like complexity in gameplay, but not complexity in story, if there is any.
Yeah, but I don't know, dude. It's like I don't know. I do think everybody has their lore. I'm telling you.
What's your lore?
My lore. I don't know. I don't have a video game or anything. But if I did, I definitely would have some lore. I definitely would think in my head
Would you tell
my
it
own
though,
little
or would you
secret.
let the player just like think of it like you would do it world building wise of like, oh, look at this statue of this philosopher, and but it doesn't tell you who this philosopher is,
Yeah, I would do stuff like that.
and they're like, what is this statue? And then they they hear a conversation in the game and they're like, oh, this that's Archimedes. He created the the chip dip.
Whoa, what was that? Did you see that?
What happened?
Something flew by in the background.
Oh, I got a what was that in my chat? That should be another one of those freak dog things. I'm searching.
It was, look.
Ah, did you find it?
It was another dogfish, the weird looking one.
Weird like a dogfish. Weird like a
Or
dogfish.
caption. These things are weird. I wonder what. You see? This is the kind of thing I will put for secret
It
lore. Fucking dogfish.
is unidentified. And it very frequently comes to this island.
Oh, star spot.
So I can see it. I see the potential. Does that mean that you like whatchamacallit? Do you like looking at a story within a story? Like the best thing I can think of is like FNAF, where it's like the story within a story. The
Yeah,
underneath
like you gotta kind of,
dig.
you gotta kind of not dig, but you gotta realize that it isn't just like a random thing. It has to do with the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Five Nights at Freddy's mini games that basically showed the lore.
Ooh,
You can't think of it as just a silly little mini game. Like there's lore in it.
everything has purpose.
Yeah. It's like when people say artists don't draw things by accident, you know? Same thing, same concept. These are artists who made these games.
That's true. It's not just like a oh here's a little thing. They probably
Yeah.
made it for something.
Yeah.
I've thought about
I've-
whatchamacallit, making like or trying to figure out how to do like 3D renders stuff, because I had friends that made avatars that they sold in VR chat, and they made a lot of money.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that'd be really cool to try to learn how to do like 3D sculpting and then turn that into 3D animating. But if I would want to do it, I would want to do it kind of like in this style, to where it's very PS1 type of polygony. But man, that's hard. Even if it's simple like that, it's so hard.
Fuck yeah.
Most of that shit's
It's a
pixel
process.
textures. Oh damn! This is a 2-star. What's this? Let's see the money. A 2-star glistening salmon. That's pretty cool. There's nothing more funny than like getting a cat or getting a dog or something like that, and they're like a puppy and they're or a kitten, and they're so happy and just moving all around the place, and then just seeing them get old, and then they're just really fat and just laying on the ground all the time and just never wanting to move. It's just like, leave me alone.
I mean, it's the same thing with humans, I guess.
I got another glistening salmon. Same thing with
The only
humans. We get
difference
big and fat and old and don't want to move.
the only difference is that we have to move. But if we could, I'm pretty sure old people would just sit and do nothing.
I mean, if the pets had to move, they wouldn't be old. Well, they'll be old, but they wouldn't be fat because they have to fucking nature.
Yeah, but they don't
We
have responsibilities.
we made them that way.
Put your fishing rod in there.
Grab his dick and twist it.
While the fucking dog is squirming with the pole. Grab a stick and twist.
Got it. Yeah, it's the
Is
same
it another
thing.
one? What the fuck? What's up? You see?
It
You
literally
see
says, "What the fuck?" This game
this
swears.
this proves my point. There's lore. Why would they there's no reason for them to keep giving us dogfish. What is the lore, huh? See, there has to be something in dog.
what's the what's the lore, huh?
This is just proving my point.
I don't know, man. It's like it doesn't even give it a name.
It just says what the fuck.
They also don't really explain who the hell Frogman and Possum is. They're just kind of there.
They're just a fucking dude.
They're just some fucking dudes.
How'd you find out about this game?
I what did I do? I think I first found out unknowingly with one of my friends making a art thing that just was called web fishing, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a neat title. I didn't think it was a game though. And then after that, I saw a YouTuber playing this game with like a bunch of their friends, and I was like, oh, this looks neat. That's it looks very neat. And then we were talking about the podcasting. So I was like, this looks like a game that would be perfect for podcasts. It's just, fishing, and you don't really have to pay attention to it that much, but it's a nice little visual. And then I looked for it on Steam, and I saw that all my friends already had it. And I was like, what the fuck? And,
What?
and now we're here.
And now we're here.
Yeah. It's really dumb how that works. I swear that there's been so many games this year that like I would just find out about it. I'm like, oh, this game looks interesting, and then I see everybody already owned it. And I'm like, oh, why? It's probably not your fault, but I'm gonna blame you for me being sick
Why?
because you're usually sick.
I wasn't even near you, man.
You could have been.
What do you have, a cold?
I have a stuffy nose.
So you're not sick. You
Yeah, yeah.
just have a stuffy nose.
Stuffy nose leads to sickness, asshole.
No.
Yeah, it does.
Gotta wait till you get a sore throat, man. Then you know you're sick.
That's what will lead to a sore throat because I'll go to bed and I can't go. So I'm gonna go, and it's gonna lead to a sore throat. That's always what happens. You know it to be true in your heart of hearts.
Mouth breathing.
You know it to be true. You think someone's died from a stuffy nose?
Probably like in fucking 1383.
They just don't know how to breathe through their mouth, and they're like, uh, uh, help, help.
They just couldn't figure it out. Probably, man, people were dying from diarrhea back then. Can you imagine? Diarrhea is like a regular nowadays.
We caused it. We fucking
Yeah.
make the food that causes it too, and we buy it.
It's just no big deal. We just take some Pepto or something.
We gotta talk about knowing we're gonna get it, but we're like, yeah, but I want that gordita crunch. And then a couple hours later we'll be like, why did I do that? Same thing is for spicy food too. Like, why do we do that to
Can you
ourselves?
imagine? Could you imagine back then? They had to have a sit down with the family, just be like, like be able to provide. They're like, why? Just got some bad diarrhea.
Listen, bro, you gotta do it for me this once. You just gotta do it this one time. Is it just me,
We
or
both got it.
do we also are such like idiots that we, for food, give ourselves challenges? We're like, yeah, I could eat a cheeseburger just fine, but if I eat a fucking 10 by 10, oh man. Like, why do we gotta do that? And then
No
we're just
boys.
And then we're just like, here's the spiciest chip in the world. It's killed hundreds of people. Yeah, I think I could do
America.
it. America, we're just bored of living. God,
The no snip.
stop.
Just buy some nasal spray, bro.
I don't fucking
Clear.
have it. I got it this morning.
You gotta get the one that makes your nose burn.
Well, you gotta get the one and shut the fuck up.
It's
How about that?
funny. I guess I can just tell you're congested.
I got a guppy. I have a guppy puppy. Yay! It's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm sick. I'm barely breathing. Catches a fucking fish. If you could trade, if you could trade, like, bad hearing. Well, you kind of have bad hearing, but if you could trade one of your senses to be able to not wear glasses and have good vision, what would you trade?
What?
If you could trade one of your senses, like, to just, that's the one that's bad instead of your vision.
Um, I think I would trade. Damn, that's hard.
That's hard.
Because I really want good vision. I guess my sense of smell. That's a good one. Doesn't do too much. You can still taste things and live. My sense
Yeah,
of smell. I would trade my sense of smell for good eyesight. Oh boy.
You ever play with like the HUD off?
Was that your nose?
What? Yes. Leave me
It
alone.
was just like,
It's not that bad. I was the weekend with the girlie.
it was good. Yeah. San Diego was cold.
It was cold.
It was really cold. It was like shivering cold.
Did you go to like the pier and stuff?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The concert was by the water too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I lost it when you showed your food that you got. Ah,
Bless you.
thank you. I can breathe. The food that you got, and Mike went, man, McDonald's and makeup. Shit.
That was funny. I knew he was gonna say something about the makeup.
I didn't even notice it.
That was when we got back. Got back. Wait, was it when we got back? I don't know. I think it was.
Shotty got back.
And I was just like fucking hungry. And then I just got, high blood pressure.
And then I got a defibrillator. And man, the night got crazy after that. Fucking Mike was when we worked on Friday. I think it was Friday. It was me, him, and
Yeah.
Xavier. And we were talking about how you went to your little vacay or whatever. And he was just like, he was trying to slither around him saying, him trying not to say that you were having a fun night, quote unquote. And he was just like, he said something along the lines of like, they're uh they're making little Nick children. And I was like, that's why the fuck did you say that? Why'd you say it like that? Yeah, you couldn't say that they're having a little fun time, but you're gonna say the aftermath of what happened, which is grosser. Like,
There. Just breeding.
yeah, that's terrible. And then, and then right after that, we thought about how fucking terrible it would be for Jenny to deal with little Nicks everywhere, where it's just like, Nick, did you do your homework? No.
Just fucking Squidwards.
Yeah, they have every mannerism you do.
No. And then, in unison.
What school?
I ranked up again. We've been playing a long time.
We have been playing
It doesn't
for 3 hours.
it doesn't get old. We've
Oh
been
man,
fucking fishing online for 3 hours.
it doesn't. There's been people that I think make so much use at the fact that you can have multiple save slots that they would probably just fish, and more fish, and then once they like done it all, they just get a new character and do it again. Take it away from me.
What can't you do?
Take my
What are you
mucus
talking
away.
about? You just want to shove like a tube in there that'll expand your nostrils and just suck out the
Isn't
mucus.
that a thing?
It should be.
Like you put little tubes in there and someone goes and it like gets rid of it.
Can you imagine the look on our faces if we actually use something like that?
That has to be true, right? I feel like that's right. And it like
Probably.
you suck it up and go, and then it goes into like a little medium in between area.
Perhaps.
Or I could just use a neti pot. Be boring. Do you have kid names? Do you ever think about that? Or do you just
What?
kind of not think about that?
Kid names.
Or kids in general?
I'm pretty sure I brainstormed, but I don't think I had something stick yet that I can
No?
remember.
You
No.
want to call him Jose Guerrero the Fourth?
Jesus. The fourth.
There's four of them.
It's crazy. There's four of them.
Oh man, if you
Hmm,
could catch the stars. Imagine fishing in space. Is there a game like that? Can you fish in space?
Probably.
Like you just fish out into the void and then you catch things?
I think so.
That'd be awesome. Just on a little shooting
Way,
star or like a meteor and you're just throwing your fishing pole
way,
out as you're moving in space, hoping you catch things. And then
way.
as you catch things, you can it changes where you're moving because of the pull. And it could be like it could be oh I got an axolotl. It could be like kind of like how Pikmin does where it's like normal everyday things like space garbage, but they name it certain things. Like if you caught like a fast food soda um cup, it would just be like the straw dispenser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You catching what I'm fishing?
I'm catching what you're throwing.
Cool, cool, cool. Then you understand the potential that this has, and you can
Do
uh,
you?
fish upon a star. That's the name of the game.
Ooh. And
When
then they're
you.
like sitting on asteroids.
That's what I said.
Oh, sorry.
When you fish upon a star. Would you rather have Squidward's head or his nose?
Damn, sucks. Probably his head.
You're gonna have that mushroom head?
Yeah, why would you want his nose?
You
I
fucking
think
people.
that's more embarrassing.
He ain't gonna find a hat for you ever.
All right, well, I think that was enough for one night.
Sounds good to me.